Welcome to Whiskey's Journey. My name is Peter Fasciano, and in today's journey, we are going to head back to a distilling producer. If you guys have been watching my series on rye whiskeys, my past 2 weeks have been on a non-distilling producer, barrel bourbon, and blue run. But now we're going to be taking a look at a Texas rye. This is Balcones Rye. This is coming out of Waco, Texas. So just like always, let's go ahead and pour it, nose it, taste it, talk about it, give it a score, and then if you wait around until the end, my sister's back and we're making a cocktail, the Vieux Carre. And then if you stay even a little bit later, I have some unedited extras. And if you guys are into really dumb jokes, we might want to hang around and watch that. So let's go ahead and get this thing poured. All right, Balcones Rye. Let's go ahead and get this thing on the nose. So if you guys have ever seen reviews on Texas whiskeys, they talk about a Texas funk. And there is a funkiness to this, not in a bad way whatsoever. The first thing I get hit with is a dark chocolate sweetness. So it's not really overly sweet. I do have a chocolate note that's coming through here, and it's not overpowering, but it's also not very sweet. It's semi-sweet chocolate, semi-sweet dark chocolate. There is an earthy note to this, almost like wet ground, wet earth, almost a hay note. And this might sound very, very strange, but the rye note that I'm getting is a pine needle dipped in dark chocolate that's a little bit damp. That's what this smells like, a wet forest earth with dark chocolate rocks thrown on the ground. I know that's very strange, but that's kind of what I'm getting here. All right, so what do we have in the glass here? We have a Texas rye. It's coming in at 100 proof, 50% ABV. This is pot distilled, aged at least 24 months, right here on the label. Never chill filtered, no added color. I have a batch on the label, batch rye 21-1, and it looks like the bottle date is 9/17/21. Certified Texas whiskey, 100% rye, and there are 4 different ryes in here. We have the Elbin rye from Northwest Texas, a white crystal rye, a chocolate, and then a roasted rye. 750 milliliter bottle, and the time that I purchased this, I paid $34.99 in Phoenix, Arizona. All right, let's get this thing on the palate. All right, so that chocolate rye, or the chocolate notes that I'm getting on the nose, are coming through on the palate. It's a semi-sweet dark chocolate note, and that Texas funk may be that roasted rye that I'm getting, or the white crystal, or the Elbin. I'm not exactly sure how that roasted or how all 4 of these ryes come together, but the dominant note that I'm getting initially is definitely a dark chocolate, semi-sweet note. And because of that semi-sweet chocolate note, it almost comes across as silky on the palate. I do have a slight amount of roasted note that comes in there as well. And this could all be power of suggestion. When I'm taking a look at the different types of ryes that are in here, that's triggering of, okay, it's roasted, try to pick out a roasted note. It says chocolate, pick out that chocolate note. And I think what I really am getting is a roasted chocolate note. Those are the dominant notes on the palate. Let's get that second sip down, see if I can pull anything else out of here. Now I'm starting to get a little bit of coffee note as well, maybe some tobacco, that wet earth hay note. If you can imagine what it would taste like to chomp on wet earth and hay with chocolate and coffee. Almost like if you've ever bitten down and chewed on a coffee bean, that note is in here along with roasted chocolate. Yeah, this is very interesting. Definitely much different than any of the other ryes that I've had. The 100% rye that I had with the Frey Ranch is completely different than this. The Barrel Seagrass was probably the most outlandish rye that I've had up to this point. And then this one would follow that up. It is very unique, completely different than any of the other ryes that I've had. And to be quite honest, I'm digging that coffee, chocolate, roasted note. Let's get a third sip down and concentrate on the finish, and then we'll go ahead and talk a little bit about Balcones. So on that third sip, even though this is a very unique rye, the finish is not very long. I would say that it's short to medium. The semi-sweet dark chocolate bitterness hangs around just a little bit. The coffee note also lingers, so maybe more medium than short. All right, so I'm going to let this sit for a little bit, talk about Balcones. It was founded in 2008, and they started distilling in 2009. In the early stages of the distillery, they changed ownership. The original owner of this kind of had a run-in with their marketing partners, and they had a split. And then when they split, we ended up having Jared Hemstad take over as master distiller. And then just recently, in the last maybe year, Diageo took over November 2nd of 2022. So stay tuned in the near future. I'm going to be really interested to see what Diageo does, putting their fingerprint on Balcones. Love or hate Diageo, it's going to be interesting to see what they actually do. All right, let's go ahead and get one last sip in here, and then I'm going to go ahead and give you guys my score. Nothing's changed on the nose. I still get that wet earth, hay, chocolate, piney note dipped in dark chocolate, semi-sweet chocolate. Nothing's changed. All of that is still here. A very, very unique nose. On the palate, semi-sweet dark chocolate with a roasted coffee bean. That is the best way that I can explain how this thing tastes. And because of that, I'm actually really enjoying this. Some reviews that I've seen on this talk about the youthfulness of it. At this point in my journey, I don't necessarily know if I can pick up on what is youthful and what's not, or if it just has everything to do with the amount of oak influence that's actually in the whiskey. And if you're familiar with Texas whiskeys, you know that their climate is pretty hot. So something that might be aged at least 24 months might be somewhere around 4 or 5 years old in other climates. Because of the heat in Texas and how much this whiskey penetrates the barrels, because they start to heat up, it sucks all the whiskey in, and then when it cools down, it pushes everything out. So you end up having more interaction within the barrel, and they're not able to keep it in the barrels to age much longer than 24 months. And if they do, you might end up getting something that's a little bit over oaked. So with all that being said, my rating system is out of 5 stars. Because of that dark chocolate, semi-sweet, roasted coffee note that sets this aside from everything else, the overall experience is rather good. The ABV sits right. It has a medium finish. You want to keep going back for more. And even though that wet earth hay note might sound a little bit off-putting, I don't think it is. And because of that, I'm going to give this 3.95 stars. Because of the price and the overall experience, I think 3.95 is a really good score for this. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys have had the Balcones Rye. What do you guys think of it? Do all those things that YouTubers ask you to do. Like, subscribe, share, comment down below. If you haven't subscribed to the channel and you like this information, I'm pretty close to my 2,000 subscriber mark. I didn't quite hit it on my 1-year anniversary, but you guys can make it happen here in the next couple of months or so. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And let's now move on to the cocktail. And then after the cocktail, the Vieux Carre Cocktail with my sister, you might want to stick around for a little while. I have some unedited extras that we kind of get a little bit goofy towards the end and get into some bad dad jokes or some bad mother jokes, depending upon when you guys are watching this, either Mother's Day or Father's Day or whenever. So it's cocktail time. Let's get on with it. Okay, we are all set up, and look who's back.
I'm back. I'm excited for this one.
So today we are going to do the
Vieux Carre.
Vieux Carre. I want to say Vieux Carre, but it's French. It's a Louisiana cocktail. And again, thanks again for the recipe, Anders Eriksson. Link is in the description below. And this is one of our favorite mixed drinks since we started doing cocktails.
Yes.
You ready for this?
I am ready.
All right. So am I. It's been a long week. I'm close to retirement. If you guys don't know, I'm a middle school science teacher, and I'm retiring in September of 2023, September 1st, 2023. And I'm looking forward to this. So,
looking forward to drinking in retirement?
No.
A lot of these in retirement?
No. Drinking in moderation is always a good thing. But drinking to celebrate on retirement, that's definitely something, and I'm definitely going to have one of these on my on my retirement party.
To celebrate it, yeah.
Yep. So anyway, what we got going on is the Balcones Rye, and just like always, I'm going to be making a double recipe for the two of us. And then in the description is going to be the recipe for one drink only. So with this one, we're going to do 3/4 of an ounce of the rye, but we're doubling the recipe. So it's going to be 1.5 ounces, which is this whole thing, 1.5 ounces.
And I know this is a faux pas, but I smelled this before we started the camera, and it smelled like chocolate.
It's very chocolatey.
And so I wanted to taste it by itself. I'll have to do that later because it's kind of hard to get it out of it, but it smells fantastic. And I was just wondering if it tasted like chocolate, like it smells.
Make sure you get the jigger back from her. Last time she wouldn't give it back to me. I'm going to set that over there.
Yes.
All right, and then we have 3/4 of an ounce cognac, double the recipe, 1.5 ounces.
I'm so good you're glad at math.
This is not too difficult.
I want you to let me put the things back on because I want to smell them.
Oh, okay. And then we have sweet vermouth, and I'm almost out of this one, and it calls for 3/4 of an ounce as well.
Now this is what we should try remaking the Brooklyn with and put the sweet vermouth in instead of the dry vermouth, because I think really that's what that was missing. I wonder if you put sweet vermouth in it as opposed to the dry vermouth, if it has a new name. Like just switching that one thing out, if it makes it like there's an actual cocktail with
Make up a name. The MB.
the MB.
I lost count. Benedictine. So Benedictine apparently is a herbal type liqueur, and this one is going to be called for 1/2 ounce. So we're just doing 1 ounce. And then we have 2 bitters. We have the Peychaud bitters and the Angostura bitters. The single recipe calls for 2 dashes of each. With me and my dashes.
I have to count your dashes. You're not good at dashing.
So we're doing 4. Now watch this. When you first tip it over, a little bit
spills,
comes out.
so that should count as 1.
But watch the dashes.
1,
1, 2, 3, 4.
So that's like 4.5 dashes.
The dash police over here. And then 4 dashes of Angostura.
2, 3, 4. That was...
Got some in there before she started counting.
And you spilled it all down the side as you were pulling it out, so that's like 5 dashes.
It'll mix in.
Okay.
Stop being such a perfectionist.
I'm sure he missed me last week when I wasn't here on Monday for him to make a drink. Where did that come from?
That's the spent bottle.
All right.
All right, add ice. And then we are putting this in a chilled footed rocks glass. So if you guys are following along and you want this and you have a footed rocks glass, get those in the freezer. I'm going to add the ice, go get the glass, and let her stir.
Oh, I hate the stirring part.
I'll stir. You go get the glasses.
Okay.
Oh man, this smells amazing. And stir until it gets cold. Or stir until she gets back.
Right, here's the glasses. So I want to know, because each one of these drinks that you've made have been in completely different glasses. So how do you decide what type of glass? Because I know I always make the comparison to red wine because obviously that's what I know. The different types of red wine that you drink call for different shaped glasses. So with whiskey drinks or just mixed cocktails, like what decision is made when going into... You're not an even pourer.
Well, I thought this was going to be enough to bring him up even, but I guess not.
That's all right. Anyway, you cut me off. Like, is there some thought behind what shape and what type of glasses they use for certain types of cocktails?
Honestly, I think it's personal choice. I'm just being a copycat.
Okay.
So Andres used these, so that's what I used. But you can put it in a coupe glass. You can put it in any kind of fancy glass that you want. I just have it in this.
With this one, I wouldn't care if I would drink it right out of the, what's it called, a jigger?
The jigger
that's
here?
A jigger.
This is the jigger.
What's the glass thing called?
The mixing glass?
The mixing glass. I'll just drink it right out of there. So that's kind of pretty.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It needs a cherry, in my opinion.
And you can throw a cherry in there if you want.
I love the cherries in the bottom. All right.
There we go. You can see the oils falling into that.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Check that out.
Yep, from the lemon.
All right. The Vieux Carre.
The Vieux Carre.
Let's see how this one stacks up. And I think that chocolatey note from the Balcones Rye should shine through on this one as well.
I
just smell the lemon.
Of the citrus, yeah.
Yeah, I think that citrus really brings a lot of stuff out. Primed your palate. Oh my God. There my throat again. That is exceptional.
It's very good. So good.
You get the sweetness. You get a little chocolate from the rye. The Peychaud bitters comes through there. I think even with the small amount of Benedictine, that herbal note, that herbal liqueur, this is fantastic.
It is very good.
Absolutely
And
like
I
this one.
typically don't like the herbal flavors. I can't remember which drink we put this in last time.
I can tell you.
Look at here. Look at you. Always a teacher looking at his notes.
The La Louisiane,
Oh, okay.
which makes sense. I mean, La Louisiane is really good too.
I like well, so maybe I do like the herbal note, but you really can taste the chocolatiness that
Yes.
you smell in here
Yeah.
in this drink. It's very velvety. Would that be a good word?
Yep, the texture on that is really, really
Yeah.
good. I like this one a lot.
Yeah, this is good. I would definitely order a second one of these or even a third. This may be my Mother's Day drink request.
Oh, that's right. Happy Mother's Day to
Happy
all the
Mother's
mothers
Day
out
to
there.
all you mothers out there. Well, this will be showing on Monday, so Mother's Day will have been
the
over.
day-
But I
day
hope
after?
Day after. Hope you had a great Mother's Day.
So, happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. Oh, thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's where we're going to leave it. Enjoy your journey. We'll talk to you guys next time.
Cheers.
I think the citrus on here too, having that wrap of lemon there, even though it's an older lemon, I still think, I mean, the oils are saturating my fingers. And
I wonder what this would taste like if we changed it up a little bit and made it an MB drink.
yeah,
There will be that should be a Friday night drink fight.
that's my brother-in-law.
What it would taste like with an orange rind as opposed to a lemon, because I really like the flavor. I mean, I like the flavor of lemon too, but I wonder how much that would change the profile of this and the taste.
Yeah, we could try that. And I also want to throw in a cocktail cherry in here as well.
I do too. I think the last time we had it, we had a cocktail cherry in it.
No,
Are you sure?
positive. Because I tried to do this. I tried to wrap it, but the rind.
Rind.
The rind kept breaking as I was twisting it.
Oh, maybe it was
So.
maybe it was a faulty lemon. Maybe
Yeah,
it
but
was
I think
a lemon.
the cherry in there is going to be really good.
Get my joke? Maybe the lemon was a lemon. See, I have to explain them to him. Seriously?
Yeah.
Was that a dad joke?
It's a mother's joke.
Oh,
It's a mother joke on Mother's
you
Day. Who was it? Oh. So you know people go to the gym all the time? And they go to the gym to work out.
Mm-hmm.
You know why the chicken went to the gym?
Why?
It wanted to work on its pecs.
You and your chicken jokes.
Why did the chicken cross the road?
Way to go. I get this right.
Because! Just because! All right. We'll talk to you guys later. I don't even know why this is so stupid, but it's funny.
I don't know.
All
Okay.
right. All right. Goodbye.